We are back for our best bets here for week number 10 of the NFL season. This video is just money lines and spreads, as later today at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, we will have our 5 best player props for week number 10 of the NFL season. But for now, again, we've got games on Sunday and Monday here for our best money lines and spreads. So before we get into it, folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily weekly NFL best bets and predictions here on the channel. We're not going to obviously cover every game right now, but earlier in the week, we broke down and predicted every single game on the Week 10 NFL slate. So if I don't deem it to be a best bet, again, it is in that video. So go make sure to check that out in the description down below. Also on the channel, our college football predictions. Those were posted earlier in the week. Obviously, the college football slate's going on right now, so go make sure to check that out. Also, our daily college basketball best bets and daily NBA best bets are also live every morning on the channel, or up every morning on the channel. And on Greedo Plays of May, weekly UFC predictions this week, again, is Gabriel Bonfim and Randy Brown in the main event. Okay, on to the first of our 5 best bets here for week number 10 of the NFL season, starting things off with an AFC South matchup at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. We are taking the Jacksonville Jaguars to go out and beat the Houston Texans. It's just a weekly occurrence at this point. Every single week I pick against Houston, but why wouldn't I? Last week it went well for us. We took the Denver Broncos to go into Houston and win, and the Broncos have obviously already picked up another win, picking up their 8th victory of their season, beating obviously the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm not a Raiders fan, but beating the Raiders in Denver. Was it the best win? No, but a win is a win in the National Football League, so good for Denver. But the Broncos, again, last week, pulled off another Bo Nix, Sean Payton, Denver Broncos victory. They don't blow you out. Their defense is really good, and they can hold you, while their offense is there. Sometimes their offense shows up, not usually. Anyways, though, Houston lost that game by 3 points, and really what is always said about Houston is, oh, their defense is so amazing, and that they're a good team at home. While that remains to be true, I think they're losing here to Jacksonville. Guys, no CJ Stroud this week, and I've been very critical of CJ Stroud, honestly, since his rookie season. I've never thought Stroud was that great. Again, his rookie year, he was really good. Second year, I did call the regression out of CJ Stroud. Regardless of that, no Stroud this week. He's got the concussion that he suffered last week in the Denver game. They're starting Davis Mills. Now, again, I have not thought CJ Stroud's played excellent football this season. I can confidently tell you he's better than Davis Mills, though. That goes without saying. Mills was okay, I guess, in the Broncos game. Ended up attempting 30 passes, 17 completions, again, on 30 attempts for 137 yards. The thing is, the Texans didn't really move the ball at all with Davis Mills at the helm. And I understand, again, what defense you're going up against. But, I mean, ultimately, the Texans kicked 5 field goals in that football game, losing it 18-15, again, to the Broncos, who ended up kicking a game-winning field goal from Will Lutz to take it home. And I know, again, that's a really good team in Denver. I'm looking at the Jags. Was it a too close for comfort type game last week? 100%. That game comes down to the final play where Geno Smith and the Raiders score a touchdown. Obviously, Brock Bowers had a monster day. Geno Smith and the offense go for it on the 2-point conversion. Tyler Lockett is open in the back of the end zone. Ball gets batted down. Game over. Obviously, Jacksonville picks up the win. But yeah, it was way too close to comfort. Do not get me wrong for the Jaguars, winning it 30-29 in OT. Finally responding after back-to-back losses to the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. And the Jags are back to 5-3, and currently they hold a playoff spot. And even if they lose this week, which they're not going to, they would still actually be in the playoffs since they already held the tiebreaker over the Kansas City Chiefs. But I think they're going to get Houston here. There are a bunch of injuries to Jacksonville's receiving core. No Brian Thomas, no Travis Hunter. Hunter's on the IR. He'll be out for a couple more weeks. Brian Thomas is out this week with an ankle injury, so I guess it's time already for Jakobi Meyers, who obviously played on the opposite side of Jacksonville last week for the Las Vegas Raiders. He is now a Jaguar. He got traded. Meyers has been very vocal and adamant on wanting out of Las Vegas, and I understand why. Now he gets to potentially be on a team who's going to go to the playoffs this season in the Jaguars, and immediately he is going to be put into the number 1 role, again, with Thomas and Hunter out. Parker Washington's also been big in the past game, so you can expect those two to be big, but I mean, it's going to be a lot of Jakobi Meyers. It's going to be Parker Washington. Starting tight end Hunter Long is out, so I don't really know what they're going to do there. Diami Brown, I think, is coming back with that concussion. The Jags are undermanned this week, 100%. You can say the same exact thing about Houston. Again, Houston's more of no CJ Stroud, but they got some guys defensively that are out right now too. We'll see if they get him this week. I'm taking the Jaguars here. I think the Jaguars defense is not the worst. I know, again, they gave up 29 points against the Raiders. I think it's going to be better this week. They struggled ultimately just because they couldn't find a solution to stopping Brock Bowers. That's really what happened there. They'll be fine, I think. This is the better football team. Last time these two teams met, they beat them at home by 7 points. I'm telling you, I think if we're comparing the loss of Brian Thomas and I guess, Travis Hunter still, to losing CJ Stroud for the Texans, I think the Stroud loss is way larger than what Jacksonville's losing in their receiving corps. Especially, again, I don't know how much of the playbook Jacoby Myers knows just yet, and I don't know how big of a factor Jacoby Myers is going to be in this football game, but he's going to have to be. Again, it's going to be him and Parker Washington. Washington had 90 yards in their game in Vegas, and obviously had to take over some after Brian Thomas went out with injury. And again, it was a lot of Travis Etienne running the football. I think it's going to be a low-scoring defensive game, but I think the Jags win it. I think the Texans are going to struggle a lot to get in the end zone with Davis Mills at quarterback, so I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars to outright win the football game. We've been on Jacksonville quite a bit this season. We had them in the Kansas City game. We had them in the 49ers game. We had them earlier in the season against the Texans. We had them last week against the Raiders. Every single week we go to Jacksonville, and we're going to keep doing it. Just announced today, too, by the way, the Jags are going to be playing their football, I believe, in 2 seasons in Orlando, Florida, for 1 year while Everbank Stadium gets remodeled. Anyways, I'm going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars here to beat the Houston Texans. Give me Jags money line on the road at NRG Stadium, -110 for Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. On to our second best bet of the video, we move to the Tom Brady Bowl. Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be hosting the New England Patriots on CBS at 10 o'clock. Again, I wish Brady was on commentary here, but it is what it is. Now, I find it really interesting. Again, I'll get into the best bet and why I'm taking Tampa in a second. I find it really interesting that Tom Brady, and I know, again, like, he has to remain this way. I find it interesting, though, Brady has talked about this game quite a bit. He does his weekly power rankings on Fox, and he previews the games, and he, when he went over Bucs Patriots, he said, it was his game of the year, obviously, and he said, don't make me pick a side, though. Find it really interesting. I mean, that's real telling, I think, that Brady, I know, again, he's made up with, the Patriots and Robert Kraft, and they retired his number and everything. He's going to get his number retired in Tampa, don't get me wrong. I think it's real. I think that means something, though. Like, I still don't think Brady's completely, over what happened, and he shouldn't be. Again, I think Brady should enter the Hall of Fame as a Buccaneer, but whatever. He's not. He should, though. What I mean by, again, Brady not picking a side and remaining impartial in this game, and Brady, you can tell, loves the Buccaneers. He always ranks them high in his power rankings, means, again, Brady's still, I think, more on the Tampa side than the New England side, and I absolutely love it, okay? I absolutely love that. Again, he should go into the Hall of Fame as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, because I know, again, he's got 6 Super Bowls on one side and only 1 on the other, but those years in Tampa, man, I mean, that changed football, Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. That was probably, to me, and it will forever be, the most fun I've ever had, and I probably will ever have watching football, and probably just watching sports in general, was Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. That couldn't beat it. Anyways, New England versus Tampa in Raymond James. I'm going with the Buccaneers here. 2 banged up teams going into this game. I thought the Buccaneers injury problem was going to solve itself over the bye week. I thought Chris Godwin would be back, and I thought Bucky Irving would be back. And I have both of them on my fantasy team alongside Baker Mayfield. They're both not playing this week. Bucky's still out with the foot injury, and Godwin's out with the fibula. I hope they're both going to be back next week because they have to go to Buffalo, and that's a really big game. But the Bucs should be fine because New England's without a couple guys too. Keyshawn Booty's not playing, and Ramondre Stevenson's not playing. Now, is that for the better though for the Patriots? Honestly, we know Antonio Gibson went out earlier in the season for the year. It's all Travion Henderson. It's all Travion, the rookie out of Ohio State, who I still believe is the best running back on the roster, but who knows? Again, Patriots without Keyshawn Booty this week. We saw Pop Douglas last week. Demario Douglas have a very increased role. Caught a touchdown pass from Drake May, so we'll see a lot more of him. Obviously, Stephon Diggs is a big part of the offense as well. And then obviously, if we're going to talk about big parts of the offense, you got to talk about Drake May. Drake May should be receiving MVP votes this year. He should be top 5 in the MVP race undoubtedly right now. It is incredible what Drake May is doing. I'm completely sold. Some are saying that Tom Brady cloned himself into Drake May. Anyways, Drake, though, has been really good. 2,300 yards this season, 17 touchdowns, 4 picks. I just don't like the Patriots on the road in Tampa. I mean, for as good as this Patriots run has been, they've beaten really one good team the entire season, and that's the Buffalo Bills. And it's a great win. It's a spectacular win. Sunday Night Football's the game. It was the Diggs revenge game, obviously, at Orchard Park, but it's the game that made everyone realize, oh, wait, okay, yeah, the Patriots are for real. Other than that, who have they beaten this season? I mean, we can go over every single one of their wins. At Miami, okay. Carolina, I know the Panthers have a good record, but no one really treats the Panthers as anything serious right now. Buffalo on the road's great. New Orleans, all right. Tennessee, Cleveland sucks. Atlanta, come on. They don't really have a good win. And it's, that's a John Parker Romo missed PAT away from being a game potentially into overtime last week at Gillette Stadium. And you send New England all the way down to Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers have been a really good team this year. Again, Tom Brady will always tell you they should be on the category of an Eagles or a Lions of being elite teams in the NFC that no one really talks about. Because again, when you think about who's going to win the NFC this season, you always think Philadelphia, Detroit, Green Bay. Brady's been very adamant on this, and I feel the same way. I've been really high on Tampa all year long. The Bucs need to be in that same category with those three teams. I mean, they're going to win their division. Obviously, they're 6-2, and the Panthers are the biggest threat right now in the NFC South. Again, that's going to go absolutely nowhere. Tampa Bay's beaten good teams before. They have. They went to Seattle, won. They beat the Niners. They've won. I mean, this is a very good football team. Their losses all year long are Philly at home in a competitive game, and Detroit on the road, really the only non-close game that Tampa's had, at least in an L, or just I guess. I mean, they've only lost 2 games. Regardless, I'm taking the Buccaneers. Guys, Baker Mayfield, he has had 1-2 bad games, and all of a sudden, Baker's not an MVP candidate. Should he be the front runner now? No. Baker should definitely still be involved in the MVP hunt, though, because, he's lost Chris Godwin, no Mike Evans, no Bucky Irving, and he's still finding ways. He's throwing to Emeka, who's been great. He's throwing to Tez Johnson. He's throwing to Cade Otton. I mean, come on. Sterling Shepard. Baker deserves all the respect in the world for what he's doing. He's been phenomenal this year, and I believe the Buccaneers are going to win this game. They're going to win the Tom Brady Invitational, the Tom Brady Showdown. Again, last time these two teams met was on Sunday Night Football, Week 3. Was it Week 3 or Week 4? I believe it was Week 4. The Bucs were 2-1. Yeah. Was it week? No, it was Week 4. No, it was definitely Week 4. The Bucs came off a loss to the Rams. Week 4 in Gillette Stadium, or at Gillette Stadium. Brady and the Bucs go in there and win the game. Missed 55-yard field goal from Nick Folk with like a minute left. Tampa wins it. I believe they're going to do it again. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers here and Baker Mayfield to win this football game in Tampa. I like this team a lot, and I just don't think the Patriots are ready for this right now. So I'm going to go with Baker and the Bucs, and we can kind of, cool down a little bit on New England. They're going to be a playoff team. I just don't think they're going to win the East. We'll see. I think the Bills are probably going to get them the second time around in Foxborough, but we'll wait for that. Give me Tampa Bay at home to beat the Buffalo Bills. On now to our third best bet of the video, we move to the afternoon slate. So we're going to have one afternoon best bet and then a Sunday night bet and a Monday night bet. Bonus bet, Lions to beat the Commanders and cover 7.5 points. We know the president is now going to be in attendance of that game, and he's probably going to witness the Detroit Lions completely stomping the Washington Commanders. I just believe, again, that's not an official best bet. It's probably going to happen. I don't love playing 7.5, but I mean, look at the Commanders defense last week, and the Lions have had this game circled for over a year now, or for about a year now, and they're coming off a loss, and Dan Campbell doesn't really lose coming off of losses. Anyways, our only afternoon best bet, or the 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock hour, whatever you want to call it, we're going to have the San Francisco 49ers to cover 4.5 points against the Los Angeles Rams. I see this game being really competitive. I mean, I think this game's won by a field goal either way. So if that's the case, I'm going to take the team that's getting the points, especially the team that is at home and getting the points. So it's become a weekly occurrence that we need to talk about the Brock Purdy, Mac Jones situation. And obviously, San Francisco is still very hurt. It was just said that Ricky Pearsall is not playing this week. He's got a knee injury. Still got a knee injury. He's not going to play. I'm recording this video on Thursday night. I'll say this now. I'm recording this video late on Thursday, but I don't think that really changes the best bet at all. As of Thursday, Brock Purdy is now questionable to play with the toe injury. However, Mac Jones has already been named the starter. Now, do we have like a Kyler Murray, Jacoby Brissett situation going on, obviously, that the Cardinals have? Is that the same thing that's going on with the Niners? I don't know, but I've said this so many times. How do you bench Mac Jones the way he's been playing? How do you bench Mac? You can't. Now, I believe, hear me out, I think Mac Jones is going to be the starting quarterback next season of the Arizona Cardinals. I think he's going to be their bridge guy, or, either Mac figures it out and he's our guy, or we're going to pick a quarterback the year after. That's my guess. I'm going to put that out there right now that the Cardinals' job is going to be open next year. And I believe Kyler Murray is going to be the quarterback of the New Orleans Saints. Probably, or he goes and plays baseball, and I can't play baseball anymore. I mean, he could, but yeah. Actually, do the A's still have Kyler's rights? That'd be big for the whole Vegas thing. What if he goes and plays for the Raiders? So he could play both baseball and football. Just saying. Anyways, Mac Jones, I think, is going to be the starting quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals next year. I think he fits that mold of when they had Carson Palmer and whatnot. I think Mac can be absolutely great for that team. He's just a better version of Brissett. Anyways, though, for now, Mac Jones is the starting quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers. Obviously, the 49ers cannot commit long-term to Mac Jones. He will not be the quarterback next season because they paid Brock Purdy a boatload of money to stick around. But you have a problem now that Mac Jones has been outperforming Brock this season. And I understand Brock has only played 2 games. Brock is 1-1 and almost lost in Seattle. Now, again, that was what we know now about Seattle. It's a good victory, but lost at home to the Jaguars. And instead, Mac Jones in his place is 5-2 as the starting quarterback. How do you sit this guy down? I don't know. I'm serious. They have been waiting for Jones to completely lay an egg and completely blow up, and then they'll say, okay, bam, we can put Brock back in. Because for now, it's got to be Mac Jones' team, and the whole thing now that, okay, well, Brock's going to be active probably. Maybe they rule him out. I don't know. As of Thursday, he's questionable at the turf toe. Maybe they rule him out, but it's pretty big that they're already naming Jones the starter. And it's, again, kind of like the Brissett-Kyler situation over in Arizona. Now, for this game, I'm taking the Niners to cover against the Los Angeles Rams. Do they win? I don't know. Again, don't forget the last time these two teams played on Thursday Night Football. Short week, Mac Jones comes in after Brock Purdy loses to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Matt comes in on Thursday night on the road at Levi's South, and Mac Jones throws for 350 yards, and the Niners win the game. Now, obviously, Kyren Williams had a bad game. The Rams, again, didn't execute in a lot of opportunities. They could have easily won that game, but they didn't. And the Niners won. Regardless of who the winner of this game is, I think it's going to be really competitive. Now, the Rams have not lost since that initial Niners L. They've beaten the Baltimore Ravens on the road. They went to London and beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they're coming off a home victory over Tyler Shugg and the New Orleans Saints. And it appears that Puka Nacua is 100% healthy for this game. There was question marks around Puka's condition going into this one. Obviously got re-injured in the Saints game. It looks like Nacua will be playing. That's big time for the Rams. Again, Stafford's having a monster season, but I say it all the time, again, great on Stafford. He's been playing phenomenally. It's hard not to look good, in all fairness, when you have Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams in your receiving core. But again, Stafford's done everything that the Rams have wanted him to do and more this season. He should be getting more serious looks for the MVP. Currently 4th in the odds behind Josh Allen, Drake May, and Patrick Mahomes. Following Stafford are Darnold and Baker Mayfield. I'm going with the Niners. They're at home. They've already beaten the Rams this season, and we don't even need them to win. That's the best part here. I mean, I know, again, you got a bunch of injuries on your defense. I know Pearsall's still not playing. Ayuk, who knows when he'll ever play. Christian McCaffrey's still around. That's really all you need. I mean, the Niners are just straight up a winning team when Christian McCaffrey plays, because that's all McCaffrey does. He wins with the Niners, not with the Panthers, but it's okay. McCaffrey, again, he's still a game changer. I questioned how big of an impact player McCaffrey was going to be this season, coming off another season-ending injury. Doesn't matter. McCaffrey's great. Again, everyone's hurt except for Christian McCaffrey, but that's just fine. I'm going to take Mac Jones, Christian McCaffrey, and the San Francisco 49ers to cover 4.5 points. They can easily win the football game. And yes, I've been over San Francisco. I've been on San Francisco a lot this season because I think they're severely undervalued. I know their injuries are hurting them, and they would be, top of the Super Bowl contender list right now if they didn't have these injuries. But now they're undervalued because of the injuries and because of Mac Jones. I'm going with the Niners to win this game, or cover, at home against the Los Angeles Rams. The win is definitely in play as well, but I'm going to go plus 4.5 for the San Francisco 49ers against the Los Angeles Rams. Next up, let's go to Sunday Night Football from Inglewood, California, or Los Angeles, California, as we have the Los Angeles Chargers hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm taking Chargers minus 2.5. I am a full believer in what the Chargers are doing this season. No, sorry, hold on. I'm a full believer in what Justin Herbert is doing for the Los Angeles Chargers this season. I don't know about the rest of the team. The rest of the team, Herbert, though, all right. I mean, this guy, again, is one of the best talents in the sport. Pittsburgh is coming off of a really season-changing victory over the Indianapolis Colts. They become the second team all year long to beat Indianapolis. But it's important because, again, Lamar Jackson's back for the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens win last week in Miami on Thursday Night Football. But they will have to play J.J. McCarthy's alter ego this week 9. So, I don't know, man. I don't know if they can get that one. Anyways, though, the Pittsburgh Steelers are coming off that huge victory over the Indianapolis Colts, winning that game at home, really stuffing out that explosive Colts offense with Danny Dimes Indiana Jones and Jonathan Taylor. Steelers coming off back-to-back L's against the Bengals and the Packers, get that huge victory at home against the Colts. But now they got to go on the road cross-country to play the Chargers. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Defense looked great last week against the Colts. I don't expect it to be that much, that good again in back-to-back weeks, especially against Justin Herbert and the Chargers. And is it really a one-man show most nights? It is. Okay, watch the Chargers play. It is all Justin Herbert creating everything for his offense and for his team. I mean, last week, Herbert, yet again, is his leading rusher. He's his own leading rusher, right? They go to Jarrett Patterson in the run game. The second-year man out of Buffalo, man. The Buffalo Bulls have had some dogs, man. Watch out. Watch out for Al-Jay Henderson probably entering the NFL draft very soon, I believe. But Justin Herbert has 57 yards on 9 carries. Patterson, 44 yards on 9 carries. My point with all this being is this team's entirely Justin Herbert. I mean, he's throwing the ball to Oronde Gadsden, Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnston, and Keenan Allen. And they went to Tennessee, and they dominated didn't dominate the Titans. The offense dominated at that points. They didn't cover because I told you they weren't going to cover. That's just a very Chargers thing. But anyways, Los Angeles wins, and really the only thing that matters in the National Football League is that win column, and obviously the Chargers were able to execute and pick up the victory. I think they win at home here on Sunday night against Pittsburgh. I think the offense is just going to give Pittsburgh too much trouble. I believe Herbert and company are going to score pretty much every single time they touch the ball. I do believe in the offense quite a bit. Well, okay, I don't know about every single time they touch the ball. My point, though, what I should say is that I don't think that Pittsburgh is going to be able to keep up. Again, will the Chargers score every single time they touch it? Probably not. But I think to keep up with this, I don't think that. I don't think so. Because if Indianapolis got to a point in their last game against Pittsburgh where they just kept scoring, and if it was like a normal Colts offense and normal Colts day offensively, I don't think the Steelers would have had an answer. We've seen the Steelers lose games where they simply just can't put up enough points. The only shootout they've won really this year is the Jets game. And my definition of a shootout in terms of Pittsburgh Steelers shootouts are scoring more than 30 points or getting into the 30s. Seattle beat them 31-17. Joe Flacco and the Bengals beat them 33-31. They lost to the Packers 35-29. I respect Rodgers. I think Rodgers, I believe, is going to return next season. I know he's talked a lot about this being his final year. I think Pittsburgh's going to want him back. I think there's an opportunity for him to play. I think Rodgers honestly didn't think the season was going to go that well, and it has. If not, I think we can all expect Joe Flacco, honestly, to be the starting quarterback next season of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think my guess will actually be maybe they'll try to get Kyler. But I think Joe Flacco, who wants to pay that Kyler contract? No, they're going to go with Joe Flacco. He's the cheap option, and he just fills the Aaron Rodgers role perfectly. I think that's what they should do. I think Tomlin's sick of trying to bring out young quarterbacks and play them. No. I think he's on the veteran path now with Russ, Raj, and if it's not Raj next season, I believe it's going to be Joe Flacco. Anyways, though, I think the Chargers win this football game. I think the offense is going to score too many points for the Steelers to keep up with. Defensively, yes, Pittsburgh looked good last week. I don't expect that to happen in back-to-back weeks. Watch how they play against Jordan Love and the Packers. Watch how they play against Joe Flacco and the Cincinnati Bengals. It is an extremely beatable defense. Do I think this team wins the AFC North? Probably not. I think Baltimore's still going to come back and win it now. For the longest time, I didn't think that was going to happen, but then I watched Pittsburgh lose back-to-back weeks to the Bengals and to the Packers, and now I no longer believe in the Pittsburgh Steelers at all. Again, I think they're going to be a borderline playoff team. I think they'll be in the wild card race. Will they get in? I don't know. Again, with Jacksonville and Kansas City and Los Angeles. So this is why ultimately this is a big game too, because this could be a huge one in the wild card race, just like how the Chargers have a big one next week on the road in Jacksonville for the wild card race. I'm going with the Chargers here, though. I think the Chargers win the game, and they will cover 2.5 points. The defense for Los Angeles should be good, and again, you know what Justin Herbert can do, one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. I'm going with the Los Angeles Chargers to win and cover here at home on Sunday night against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Give me Chargers minus 2.5 against Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. On to our final best bet of the video, we move to Monday Night Football. Again, it's rare we go back-to-back on Sunday and Monday night for the best bets, but here we are. Monday Night Football, give me the Philadelphia Eagles. And the biggest reason towards this is the Packers just aren't that good. That's what it comes down to. Yes, will be a refocused effort this week. Will they be back on track, and can they play that poorly again like they did last week at home against the Carolina Panthers? Probably not. I just think it's such a tough ask to lose to Carolina and come back and play Philly. I've been more than critical on the Eagles this season, but ultimately they're 6-2 and they look like they're probably going to get home field advantage in the NFC this season. I don't know. They do have some tough games coming up. Green Bay on the road, Detroit, Chargers on the road, Buffalo on the road. We'll see. The NFC is wide open, and the AFC kind of is too, but we'll see. Actually, no, it'll probably be Tampa's probably going to get a home field advantage, I think. Tampa's schedule is not that difficult at all. That's crazy. The Bucs could get a bye because they have the tiebreaker over Seattle. I know Phil. We'll see. Again, that's long in the future. I'm taking the Eagles over here to beat Green Bay, and it's as simple as I don't think the Packers are that good. I know Philadelphia is good. Are they, as good as they were last season? No. Are they beatable? Yes. Are they going to run right through the playoffs last year like they did last year? No, I don't believe so. But I've seen the Eagles and Packers play twice last season, and what happened? They played once in Brazil. Eagles won. They played in the postseason in Philly. Eagles won. Now, again, different location this time. We go from down south in South America to Brazil. We go to, obviously, the Lincoln Financial Field. Now we go to Lambeau Field up in the frozen tundra. I don't know how cold it's going to be on Monday night, but not like that matters. The Eagles play in the cold all the time, too. Green Bay's offense looked horrible last week. They looked absolutely atrocious. That cannot happen again. Philadelphia is slowly figuring it out. They are unleashing Jalen Hurts a lot more. They're letting Hurts do more with the offense. And Hurts can be good when you let him actually do his thing. Saquon Barkley, for the first time all year long, had a very good game. Second time, but he had a really good game. Really first. It was his first 100-plus yard game. He was solid, I'd say, in the Chiefs game, he was pretty good. But Barkley finally eclipsed 100 yards this season against the New York Giants in Philadelphia. Again, 150 exactly for Saquon Barkley. Eagles are getting fairly healthy on the offense. Again, A.J. Brown has been a full participant. He is back. Again, he was kind of involved in trade talks. I always thought it was stupid. Why would you trade a guy after winning the Super Bowl? And why would A.J. Brown even want out? I know his targets are down, but come on. Philadelphia has kept him around, obviously, and the Eagles are 6-2 going into this game against the Packers. When the Eagles are on, they are so difficult to beat because they can beat you on the ground. Hurts can run. Barkley can run. And yes, is the NFL, are they closing in on the tush push and ending that thing? They kind of are. You can tell, again, in the fall starts that Philadelphia gets away with sometimes. They are absurd. Do not get me wrong. They still have it. It's not like it's completely done yet. Is it close to being over? I believe so. And will it even be a thing next year? I really don't think so. I think the tush push, again, is getting close to being stopped entirely to the point where the NFL is going to continue to tell the referees, call false start every single time. Or call legal procedure every single time. They still have it for now, and you can't completely get rid of it yet. So again, Philly's just such a tough team to beat, especially when they are ahead and when they're doing their thing and they're ripping 4 yards a carry with Barkley. Okay, we're on 3rd and 2. Let's run it again. If we don't get it, all right, let's run it again and go tush push. They are difficult, and the defense is playing a better football as well. Again, back-to-back losses earlier in the season to Denver and to the Giants. Well, the Denver game, they blew it at home, and the New York Giants game, well, Jackson Dart just had a night on Thursday Night Football. I look at the Green Bay Packers, and I am very disappointed. I mean, you beat Pittsburgh, you look great, and then you go back home, take on Bryce Young and the Panthers, where Young throws for like 120 yards, and you lose. I mean, that throw that Jordan Love makes cross-body in the end zone that should have been a pick six that was dropped on 4th down, it just resonates, it just sticks in my mind. I can't take him seriously now. Josh Jacobs, I don't know. Again, I know Jacobs ran the ball quite a bit against the Panthers, but still, I feel like Jacobs is kind of hurt. I think his calf is still bothering him. I know he's been sick or he's had some sort of illness. I think that's gone by now, though. But I still don't think Jacobs is 100%. Defensively, they're playing good enough football. But don't forget, again, like 2 weeks ago, they should have lost in Arizona. Some questionable play calling by Jonathan Gannon and the guys for the Cardinals. But the Packers, realistically, should probably be a 5-3-1 team, which is still a good record. But it's not like they're playing phenomenal football. And I believe the Eagles, I know, again, the Green Bay defense is great. Micah Parsons and company, I understand. I don't care. I think the Eagles are going to dominate this football game. I think they're going to control the time of possession. And ultimately, I think that's what swings this game into Philadelphia's favor. So I'm going to go Philadelphia Eagles money line this week. I think, again, the way they're playing right now, and especially that win against the Giants is so encouraging. And I understand, right? It's the Giants, and Scotty Boo got hurt in that game, but that's so big, and you're coming out off the bye week. Everyone's fully healthy. You've had all this time to, zone in on the Green Bay Packers, a team that you're familiar with by playing them twice last season and playing them in the postseason last year and beating them. I think the Eagles are going to get this game. I think next week, I think it's going to be an extremely tough test. I think it's a tougher game. I think the Lions are just, in general, tougher than the Packers. And I know, again, Philly's going to be at home next Sunday night, but still, that's the Lions, and the Lions are going to pull a lot of stuff out the hat in that game. But regardless, this week I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles to beat the Green Bay Packers. I do believe they're going to get it done. Again, straight money line. Don't need any points here. They are dogs, so take it while you can. They're going to control the football. They're going to control the time of possession, and ultimately this is going to result in a Philadelphia Eagles victory. Give me plus 105 for Philadelphia here on the road in the frozen tundra at Lambeau Field. Eagles plus 105. Folks, thank y'all for watching our 5 best bets for spreads and money lines here for week number 10 of the NFL season. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back later today for our 5 best player props for week number 10 as well. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.